Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is living in Colorado Springs and I am Alicia Armendariz, and today I want to talk about, if you guys are moving out here to Colorado, is a new build possibly the right move for you? So I'm going to dive into a little bit of new builds here in Colorado, what to expect, what they look like right now going to the fourth quarter of 2022. We have a lot of new builds giving great incentives that I definitely think you guys should consider. So if you hadn't been considering a new build before, check this video out because I'm going to tell you why maybe you should. So you guys, if there is anything that I mentioned today that you have questions on, please feel free to reach out to me. I am a licensed broker here in the state of Colorado, and as always, I would love to help you with your real estate needs. But the idea for this video came in particular just because I have a lot of you who are from out of state. You reach out with questions about the pre-existing homes and then also new builds, but more so right now in the fourth quarter of this year, we're just seeing so many incentives, and I actually had one of you guys reach out and I was able to help you get into a home, a move-in ready home. You had some great incentives with the list price, with financing, with just things that were added to the home that came later. So I just really wanted to put this out there for you guys to possibly take advantage of if you were looking to move right now, in the next week, in the next month, or even 12 months down the road. These new builds right now are having some incentive that even if you sign and get under contract on a completely new build, you still get to reap the benefits down the road when you finally do close. But just to begin, I want to say that new builds here are just booming. Colorado's been booming over the last couple of years, and especially since the pandemic, people are now moving to Colorado because they are able to work from home. So they can pick up and move to beautiful Colorado and work from here. So in the springtime, new builds were kind of hit or miss. It was a great option for some of those buyers who couldn't compete with appraisal gaps, and it was still a kind of a situation to get into a new build. But now that we're entering the fourth quarter, a lot of those properties are just having to compete with all the inventory that we've had since the hike in interest rates. Around May, interest rates started to rise, and as many of you have probably seen on the news, on social media, it did squeeze out a lot of potential buyers. That interest rate increase did make it harder for people to make that monthly payment. So a lot of homes are now on the market. We're seeing about 30% more homes on the market in general, and new builds have to compete with all those pre-existing homes and all those sellers. They also have a number that they need to hit for their books and whatnot. So with all that increased competition, they definitely need to stand out. And how are they doing that? Well, they are doing that with incentives on financing, on home builds, on fixtures and finishes, and you name it. Every community is a little bit different, but they're definitely going to have some incentives as to why you should pick them over a pre-existing home. So one thing that I really like about new builds is that they do have a lot of flexibility in your time frame. There are about 3 different types of building processes to consider when considering your time frame. And the first one is going to be a dirt start, and that's kind of the traditional where you pick your lot, you pay your lot premium. The lot is just dirt. They're going to pour the foundation and start building from there. You get to go into the design center, pick your fixtures and finishes and whatnot. The whole process will take about a year, anywhere from 12 months to 14 or even 15 months, depending on the size of your home that you're having being built. But that gives a lot of leeway for you to really customize your home. And if you still are out of state, overseas, or just kind of playing around with your timeline, you have time to get your ducks in a row, to put your home on the market if you possibly need to sell, and just kind of take your time moving into that new home. The next type of new build is usually referred to as a spec home, and those are usually homes that are about 3 months away from being completed. They definitely have drywall up. The majority of the home is put together. They are already going to have most of their fixtures and finishes picked out by the builder, and usually that's not going to be anything crazy These builders are pretty good about knowing what everyone likes nationwide, what are some trends and popular things that are going to homes nationwide. So usually you can find these spec homes are going to have more of the modern finishes, but nothing too crazy. Like I said, for the most part, something everyone would be comfortable and okay with living with. But that is something that you can walk into, I can walk into and do a virtual showing for you, and you're already just gonna have an idea of what the home's gonna look like, the layout, like I said, the finishes, where that home is gonna sit on the lot, which way your windows are gonna face. So spec homes are definitely a good option if you do need a little bit more time, but definitely not that year span. And then the third type of new build, which I really like and what kind of actually encouraged me to make this video because it helped out those recent clients, is a move-in ready home. These move-in ready homes are ready to go. They are pretty much completely finished from the builder. They were either started to being designed by a buyer who, for whatever reason, had to back out of the deal, or they were a spec home, then just is getting closer to being completed. So now they are ready to be walked through by you, by myself virtually, and probably just need a few more finishes here or there, but they are ready to go and be purchased the minute that you can get your financing in order. So that can be anywhere from 2 weeks up to 30 days usually. And these also, again, are gonna have, you know, their placement on the lot. You're gonna know exactly what you get when you walk into them. Like I said, they're gonna have those more updated finishes. If you're not even needing to sell a home, maybe you're a first-time home buyer or just you've been renting for a while, these are a great option. And why I like these quick move-ins right now here in the fourth quarter is because, again, as I had mentioned, these builders, they need to get these homes off their books. They need to get them sold so that they can then move on to the next project that they have planned and next subdivision and what have you. So the incentives that we're seeing right now is just really amazing. I mean, a lot of them are price reductions on the list price. They are interest rate decreases. I actually had some clients right now. We are looking around 6% nationwide at interest rates, give or take a little bit, but I'm just seeing a ton of new builders that are giving away, locking in the option at 4.5% or even 4.8%. They're even doing financing options of 2-1 buy down, which is a whole other story. You can talk to a lender or myself about that later, what that financing look like. But overall, right now is a great time to just move into a brand new beautiful home that has those modern finishes, that is just in a new community with new landscaping, new families, just kind of new everything. And then also they just come with a lot of home warranties that first year. So if you are looking right now at a new build, every option is great depending on what your situation and time frame is. But if the time frame for now works for you, or between now and the end of fourth quarter here in 2022, I definitely recommend getting into a new build or talking with me, and we can go talk to a sales rep because we could probably get you some pretty good financing and yeah, just a new big beautiful home. Not every new build community is going to offer the same incentives or even incentives on builder add-ons or even just time frames of when you can sign. But I have a ton of relations here. I have always reached out to builders as just having an extra tool in my pocket to have me on their list or just inform me of, you know, hey, we had a project, it fell through for whatever reason, do you have any buyers? And so I'm always just in communication with them. I'm always reaching out to them to find out like what you have on the market, what new floor plans, what new areas of town are you even considering moving to and building. So I love that I had that relationship with them. I really try and nurture that relationship so that when something does pop up on their side, I am definitely a phone call or one of the first people to receive an email about what they have to offer any of my potential clients. So just some things to note in general when considering new build communities. I'm not really going to call these pros or cons, or just definitely things to note. So depending on when you do move into your home, if you are one of the first people to be in that community, you are going to have to probably deal with a lot of construction going on around you. Now, some people don't mind that, but if loud noises and banging and just the look of your neighborhood being developed and dirt being pushed around is not for you, then I would definitely say maybe not try and be one of the first people in a community, just because that is something you're gonna have to deal with. But the construction workers and the builders just usually do a pretty good job of not disturbing those residents who are already in their homes. They do a pretty good job of cleanup at the end of a day's work, you know, getting debris out of the street and the yard. So I will say a lot of builders here in town do keep in mind that there are already current residents who live in the area, and as the development grows, that they need to be cautious of that. The flip side of that, though, is if you are one of the first people to buy in a new build community and be there, you are going to be gaining a ton of equity by the time that that development is finally finished. Most of the time, people will be moving in and gaining equity, and just here in Colorado, we've been gaining crazy equity the last 2 years. But you, as one of the first people in that community, you are definitely going to be walking away with some equity if you do decide to sell down the road. Another thing just to be aware of with these new build homes is that they do offer a 1-year kind of porch-to-porch warranty, kind of like a bumper-to-bumper, but a porch-to-porch warranty. And that is for the first year that you are living in that home. You know, the builders are going to be checking in with you often, or just whenever you need to reach out to them, be letting them know, hey, this happened, maybe that happened. Usually it's not anything major, but it is Colorado. We do have 4 seasons, and homes just kind of settle and shift in general. So we do have good soil here for the most part here in Colorado and just Colorado Springs, but you know, a home does kind of shift, and if you're the first person to be in it, you are definitely going to experience some of that natural settling of the home. So having that 1-year warranty is always really nice. Like I said, you can reach out to the builder whenever something does pop up, or what I always recommend my clients do is after you move in, maybe schedule an inspection for your home around month 9 or 10 that you've been living in the home. That way you can actually have a third-party inspector come in, kind of check the home, see if, you know, maybe some things that weren't 100% correct the day you moved in have maybe now kind of shifted or settled or popped off, or who knows. But having that third-party inspector do come in before your 12 months warranty is up is really beneficial, because then you actually have documentation that you can tell the builder, like, hey, these are some things we found and will you please address them. They usually have no problem addressing them since they do fall under that 1-year warranty. So I am just going to wrap things up with saying there should be 2 things that you should expect. They're kind of unexpected expenses, but that you should expect when buying a new build. And that is that, for one, most of the builders, almost all the builders here just in Colorado, not just Colorado Springs, but Colorado nationwide, they don't put in backyard landscaping. Almost all the homes and all the builders are going to include some type of front yard landscaping, whether that be a certain type of tree, rock, a little bit of grass, what have you. Everything varies from community to community, but the backyard is going to be your responsibility to landscape if you want to do so. So if you want to put in irrigation or sod or what have you, that is definitely going to be at your expense. The second thing that I want to mention that is actually funny, because my clients recently got the hookup on their new build, but definitely expect builders to not include blinds in the home. And it's Colorado, so we get a lot of sun. We have great views of the mountains here in Colorado Springs, and all the homes are going to have several windows. So I would definitely expect to invest in some blinds. That is just something that builders do not provide. They just don't, for whatever reason, and so that can kind of get costly depending on how large your windows are. It can get into the thousands of dollars. I will say, though, that my recent clients just signed about a week ago, and I just got an email they got hooked up on the blinds. That was one of the incentives, along with their price reduction and locking it at a super low rate, considering what they are now. They, you know, the company just has money to be giving away. They have incentives. They're trying to help people and incentivize people to come sign in their communities. And so we didn't even ask for blinds. But that was something that community in particular had some extra money in their budget, and really wanted to help get a fast close for my clients. And so they were given a credit of just under $5,000 to install blinds in their home. So that is super rare. Something that they don't usually do. But again, you guys, it's fourth quarter. I really recommend right now that if interest rates are putting a strain on you potentially buying, definitely consider a new build. We have a lot of them here throughout Colorado, and that is just up and down the Front Range, Pueblo, Colorado Springs, Denver, you name it. They're big here, and I don't really have an issue with many of the builders that are here. I definitely have some favorites. I have some that are not so my favorites, but I would never consider any of them bad. So if you guys do have questions and whether or not a new build might be the direction that you want to go in making your move here to Colorado, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help answer those questions, or again, just help you with the real estate needs. And if you could, hit that subscribe button and bell so you can get notified when I make new videos each week on everything that is living Colorado Springs. Until next time, I hope you guys have a good one.